Okay, so I thought I would give you a tutorial on how to do a single crochet, and then that way you can always look back at this reference of what a single crochet is. And I'm going to do the same for a double crochet and a treble crochet. And then as we do work on projects together, I will also show you more in detail of those projects as we work on them. But these are going to be basic techniques that you can always keep in your filing cabinet for when you may need to go back and reference them. Because as a beginner, it is also very hard to remember all of these fun techniques and words and terminologies and meanings and everything else. So the first thing I'm going to show you about this one is we're going to make a slip knot, okay? And this is going to be the start of every foundation chain that you'll use for anything that goes lengthwise and not like in a circle. So the first thing about a slip knot is that you are going to cross over your yarn, your fingers like this, okay? And then I like to take my hook and go underneath and pull that tail, the tail yarn. See how that's the one with the end? I like to pull it through, but don't let go of the tail. Hang on to it tight because you're going to move the hook, not anything in this hand. You're just going to let it go and let it slip up onto the hook. And that is your slip knot. And that is going to be the beginning of just about every project we'll ever work with. How you chain is that you want this to be loose enough where it's moving freely on your hook. And you don't want anything to get too loose because then that's just going to cause a problem in your foundation chain. You want it to be fairly uniform, so try to keep them all the same size. So how you chain is that you're going to take this working yarn with this hook and you're going to pull the yarn by slipping the hook up underneath it, grabbing a hold of it, and in the meantime you're twisting it to where the hook is pointing down, and then you're just going to pull that right through that loop. And you're going to do it again. Grab the yarn, twist it downward, pull right through. And you're just going to keep doing this method until you've reached the desired width or the desired length of your project that you want in the direction that you're working it in. For an example, I'm working on this scarf with a beautiful wave pattern. This is called the wavy chevron. I'm going horizontally down the scarf with my pattern. So I have to make a chain wide enough for the desired width of my scarf. This is 8 inches. Some scarves are a little thinner than this, but I have intentions on folding this over so that it stays stationary and it's got some bulkiness to it, and it's going to keep me nice and toasty during the winter time. So back to this chain. You're just going to make this however wide or long you want your desired project to be. This video is strictly teaching you how to do the foundation chain and to do a single crochet. We're just going to do a few rows of it because that is all the purpose of this video, is to show you how to make those stitches. We are not making anything specific. Once you have the desired width of the piece that you're working with, you always want to make sure that you keep a number of how many chains you've made. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I've made 8 chains. To start the next row, I need to make another foundation chain by chaining 1, only because we're doing single crochets across the first row. If you were doing double crochets, you chain 2, sometimes 3, just depends on the look of the double crochet you're wanting and what your edge will be. But we're not teaching you double crochets today, we're teaching you single crochets, so only chain 1 to start a new row. Once you've chained 1, then you're going to go into the very next chain, which is right here. You're just going to go right in for it. You're going to grab that yarn and you're going to pull it through. Now it puts 2 loops on your hook. You're going to take the hook and you're going to grab the working yarn again, and you're going to pull through both of them at the same time. The next thing we're going to do is go into the very next stitch. Go right in there, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through both. See how that one chain made a nice wall to indicate that a new row is being applied to the project? I'm going to go to the next one. These two loops are occupied. This is the very next one. You're going to go into there. Stick your hook in, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through both. Go into the next stitch, which is right here. Grab the yarn, pull it through. Oh, I'm getting snagged. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you gotta take your hook all the way out to figure out where it went wrong. Sometimes you can kind of figure it out as you go. I'm gonna try to avoid that little stray hair there by going back through, pulling the yarn. There we go, I'm free. Grab the yarn, pull through both. There's your next one. Gonna go in, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through two. There's your next stitch. Go in, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through two. There's your next stitch. See how I'm counting these stitches? Each time there's like a little hump and a hump, hump and a hump. Okay, this is the one that has not been used, so we're going right in. Grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through two. And there's your very last stitch. Don't ever skip the last stitch, otherwise your edges will be quite wonky. We don't want that. So there's your first row of single crochets. I'm going to show you how to do the second and the third row, but from that point on, it's all you because it's the same thing. It's all repeating. But here we go for the second and third row. I hope this is all the tutorial you'll need to learn how to single crochet. We're at the end of the row. To start the foundation for the next row, we chain one. And that is only for a single crochet. Each foundation wall to start a new row will be different according to what stitch you are using. Single crochets, get one chain. All right, chained one, you turn your work because you always want to work from right to left. Now, instead of going in between the loops like we did on the chain, for the rows, we're going to go right inside below the loops. So we're going to go right in there. You see how you got two loops right there? And then the rest of it is like a single loop on the bottom. Okay, we're going to go right through those two little loops. Grab the yarn, pull it through. Grab the yarn, pull it through two. There's your first of your second row. Here's your second one. You're going to go right into that little dark space right in there. Gonna make sure you got two loops on top. See? Grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through two. There's your next little dark space. You're gonna go in there. Grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through two. Yarn, pull it through. Yarn, pull through two. We're almost to the end. We got one more there. We cannot ever miss the last stitch. Can't miss it. If you want to make sure that you got the exact same number as you did for the first row, you make sure that you've got yourself 8 stitches by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As long as you have the same number stitches as the same number chains that you started out with, you're doing good. It's always remembering to chain 1 before starting a row. I myself have been to the point where I have forgotten to chain, and next thing I know, my piece ends up like a triangle because I keep decreasing every time I don't chain. So always chain 1 to start a new row, and go skip the first chain, go right into the first actual stitch, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through 2. Go right into that dark space, that's the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through 2. See the little dark spot there? Stick your hook in there, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Count this to make sure. I think I did pretty good, but I always like to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's a single crochet. You just keep repeating until you're at the desired length or the desired width that you are wanting. And always chain 1 before starting a new row. You chain 1, then you turn your work to allow yourself to work from right to left. Skip the first chain, go directly into the very next stitch, which will be the second stitch from the hook. You go in there, you grab the yarn, you pull it through to have 2, grab the yarn, pull through both. Go into the next space, which is the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, pull the yarn through 2. Go in the next stitch, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through 2. The last one can always be a doozy. Sometimes it gets caught so much. Oh, almost did it there too. Okay, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I think that's pretty good. Did that a few times for you. Good. So that's your single crochet tutorial. I wish you luck. I hope you do well. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you very much for watching.